can't help but wonder, what is he going to talk about? Well, that's what I really think about when I think of the relationship between the so-called hardcore gamer and when let's see, what's the nickname for them now? The casual gamer. A friend of mine made a video here recently where he actually brought up the subject, and what he came to the realization is we're all casual gamers now. If you've ever watched ECC Wii's podcast with S4Y, ECC Wii, and Jodecideion, some good content there, and it's the kind of content that actually keeps you thinking. That's actually kind of rare on YouTube. But back to the subject. The casual gamer versus the so-called hardcore gamer. It's a fine line, and depending on which side of the fence you're on determines how you are viewed in the YouTube community. Well, I have news for you. As Jodecideion said, and I think it's a pretty valid point, unless you are either rich or a worthless bum, depending on which end of the spectrum you belong to, you no longer have the time to play games 24/7. And it's interesting. The reason why this has become an issue this cycle, and in my honest opinion, is you look at the age demographic. Video games used to be limited to those between the ages of, what we would say, 9 to 24. And that's probably being a little generous. But now, that's no longer the case. The gamer extends well into the 40s and the 50s. And for all I know, there may be some people playing in their 60s. And actually, if you thank Nintendo for that, that statement is relatively true, 100%. You now have new gamers, whether they be hardcore or casuals, that are still playing games. And for the industry as a whole, this is a good thing. Check your personal opinions at the door. Sometimes there's just not a place for them. In this situation, there's not. For the game industry to continue to grow, we have to see new individuals, demographic groups. There's a number of ways you can break it down, but we need new gamers. And it doesn't really matter what type of gamers that they are, because who in the hell has the right to say that my level of gaming proficiency exceeds yours and I'm better than you? One of the things that I really enjoyed about the old school systems, and I'm probably going to show my age a little bit when I say this, is that clear distinction between hardcore and casual didn't exist back in the days. A gamer was a gamer, regardless of the type of game that it was. I honestly think we need to go back to those days sometimes. And I could not leave off the ever-popular Nintendo Wii has all the kiddie games. The hardcore PS3s, 360 guys, whoever you are, love to claim that the Wii has no value because the games are kiddie. I'm an adult, so I need an adult game. I need drugs, sex, rock and roll, headshots, and verbally abusive people on Xbox Live and the PS3 network to prove my adult humanity. Ugh, give me a break, man. What's the point of playing a game? Last time I checked, people play games for the enjoyment. Oh, what a concept. You play a game because you actually enjoy playing a game. It's an escape. Is that so bad? Does it matter if it's a cartoon or it's a Call of Duty? Should it matter? It shouldn't matter. I'm going to use this term, and it's this term I'm just convinced is a part of life. And what I think of people who do that, who criticize the Wii for saying the Wii isn't hardcore enough, you guys have what they call little man syndrome. You're not happy with the way the current generation is going, and so you've just got to complain. And I hate to break the news to you, but in this situation, you are the little man. The sales clearly show that the dominant console is the Wii. Get over it. To be honest, why don't you thank the Wii for what it's done? Introduce brand new gamers. Because I got to tell you, if you are a man, I shouldn't say man, that's a little harsh. If you are an individual who has a family, it is easier to justify a purchase of a console in your household when it can appeal to everyone in the household, not just Mr. Hardcore Alpha Male making up for his small insecurities, I imagine. Having broad appeal to everyone is just a benefit to the entire household. It gives more appeal to it. You can have games that you play with your family. You can have games that you play for yourself. You can have games that you play with just your wife alone. Everyone wins. Why that is a bad thing, I have no idea why.